Good evening, everyone. It's been a very positive start to the week because it feels like it's summer again. Hopefully we have that Indian summer theme where it's lovely in September. Anyway, what we need to be doing more of to help our mental health. If you were to reflect on things that help you forget your phone, how big would your list be? We need to start doing things that help us to forget that we have a phone, or more of them. Because when we start to forget that we have a phone, we start to completely switch off from things which can be negative energy into our world. Things could be really simple, like playing with your animals or working out. That's a huge one. That's why so many people love it, because yes, they've got their music in, but when you work out, it makes you forget you've got a phone because you're in the zone. Because we could be so involved with our phones, feeling always connected to everyone, wanting to search for anything on the internet, connected to everyone and everything. And that's great to a certain extent, but sometimes, we can always chase more, we can always want more, but actually we don't appreciate what we have in the moment. And some people don't do enough to do things to actually make them realise that, make them forget they have a phone. Because a lot of people are addicted to their phones. We live in a set-up society where we are supposed to be addicted to our phones, because all the dopamine spikes of that factor wanting something constantly surge every time we check our phone. That's why it's such an addiction, because it makes us feel good inside of our head. So we've got to be doing things more to make us forget we have phones, because if we're so obsessed with our phone, if we're so hooked on our phones, always checking on other people, what other people are doing, we forget on actually what we're doing in our world and what really matters to us. So other really good ways or things to be doing to help you kind of forget you have a phone would be like reading. Cooking's a great one, when you're really involved in a recipe, cooking's a really good one. Also, I would already say working out, yoga as well. Yoga's superb. All these things, spending time with your family, playing board games, for example, taking your phones off, playing, not Monopoly, because that causes family World War III's, but playing board games, just little things, sitting around a table, drinking a glass of wine. Those things can make you forget that you have a phone, because you're appreciative in the moment, you're appreciative in the now. And one thing I learned as well when I was going through really ill mental health was when I was always on my phone. I was always comparing myself to what I deemed other people had, or what I deemed other people were like, but that was just such a thought pattern in my head that I constantly get sucked into, because I couldn't get away from it. And when you constantly, chase or feel like you have to be a certain person because someone else is, or someone else is a certain way and you want to be like that, it's so damaging on our mental health. So doing more things that help us, forget that we have a phone is fundamentally important for our mental health. Because if we're always hooked onto our phones, we're always, reacting to other people, we're always focused on other people and less away from ourselves. And when we're constantly neglecting our own well-being for the sake of checking on what other people are doing, or other people's snippets of their day-to-day life, what they're doing, we're not focusing enough on ourselves. We need to give ourselves some more self-love, and doing these things, like I said earlier about doing more things to help you forget that you have a phone, that's focusing more on our well-being, on our self-love. It may sound so silly, but playing with your pets, I get so much pleasure out of playing with my cat and my dog, just in the moment with them, giving so much love, and they give you so much love back. It makes me forget I have a phone, and it makes you realise that what is really important in my life, my animals, my family, all those things. And it's the same with everyone, once we start to do things that make us forget we have a phone, we start to really appreciate and understand what makes us truly happy and brings us the most happiness and joy in our life. And they're things we really need to grab onto more to help our mental health, especially when we go through really difficult times. When we go through those difficult times, latching onto these things that really make us forget we have a phone is so important. to give us that bright little spark going forward. Because sometimes when we go through these hard stages in our life, everyone goes through them, you know, we do think there's no positivity, but there always is. We're just looking in the wrong places. There always is. I promise that. I promise you that. We can't keep looking in the wrong places, because the wrong places is through our phone. That doesn't give us happiness. Our family, our friends, our animals, you know, things we love, like reading, cooking, whatever makes you feel more positive about yourself, within yourself, about your emotional, mental and physical well-being. That's what gives us the most joy and happiness. So ladies and gents, I really hope that helps. Just really focus on spending more time on those things that make you forget that you have a phone, and taking that time out from playing on your phone or constantly being on your phone, because it is damaging. We all know. Always being reactive. Being proactive, doing those things that help you forget you have a phone, will really benefit your mental health. Ladies and gents, enjoy the rest of this day. It's absolutely gorgeous today. Beautiful stuff. And I will chat to you later on in the week.